I used to enter rooms like I was apologizing for just being there, not in a verbal way. Basically, I would like I would walk in into the room and I would start walking along the wall to get to where I'm supposed to sit. No eye contact. I would like do like a quick scan, find my seat, and then I'll make myself small, like no contact. You wouldn't even know that I was there. And if anyone ever notices me, then if they don't notice me, then I just feel like, yeah, I've done my job, success. I've just, come in there. And this is me thinking, okay, this is how to be professional. Like just go in there, just be quiet, do your thing, and then come. And I thought, yeah, I'm being respected that way. I'm like in and out, in and out. Nobody knows. I'm just doing my thing. But it wasn't professional. I wasn't being professionalist. That was not, that's, I was protecting myself, thinking that that's how it should be. I wasn't entering the room. I was bracing myself just in case against whatever. No, like my face was even an armor. Seriously, I had this beach resting face, like something like just neutral. I was serious, was tight, was focused. And if I ever hesitated for half a second, I'll feel it in my whole body. My chest tighten. I have these thoughts, quick thoughts, like correct it. Okay, what are you gonna do? Like fix it now. Like do something. Don't let them see you. What you doing? Like correct yourself. Like they're frowning. They're not sure. They look confused. Like say something. Do something. I'll move like I had something to prove every single time, and that energy just followed me. The tenseness, the worry, like I'm just blank canvas. Don't look because if I enter spaces like that, honestly, I'm not being present. If we're ever entering that way, we're scanning, we're calculating, we're trying to figure out who's gonna like. You're trying to manage perspective, what they think about me, like that is exhausting. That was so heavy for me at the time. And when I realized that, okay, man, Nene, we can't. This is getting too much. This is costing so much. Only knew the higher being knows like all the stuff that was going on. And the shift didn't just wasn't this like a voluminous thing. It was a decision of like, okay, I'm going to stop entering rooms like this. I'm just stop being defensive and thinking that there is a thing. You go in and you're walking in and you're putting your head down and you're apologizing even when introducing myself. I'll be there. So I was like, now it's all different now because how I walk in very like deliberate, like I'm supposed to be there. I'm entering like, okay, cool. Go straight for B, then finding the A to Z to get to B. I'm just going A, B, then A, B, C, D, 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 to Z, getting in there. And now I walk in, I'm lifting my gaze. There's the eye contact. I am looking and the person I'm approaching. And one of the things that I do now is like, whereas before when I'm walking in, it's like you would just know, okay, maybe she doesn't be like to me. I thought I was like she doesn't belong here. Like, what is she doing? Like, how was she like? What's this? And now when I walk in with my lifted gaze and I'm like this, and the way I breathe, and I have this rule where I have this 50-yard rule where just sending love to whoever is in there. And in the beginning, it was more kind of like an intention, I love you, like I don't say it out loud in my head, like to just be calm. And that just helped to like really soften my breath and really like acknowledging the space and not feeling intimidated by it. And constantly doing that and working, going, to where I needed to do. It wasn't like, oh, it's dramatic. And with this door frame thing as well. So there were all certain things that I built up to get into that point of like, I don't need to prove myself. I just need to be present. I am here because I was chosen to be there. I was there to come and do something. So I get to like walk on with that calm confidence. built up. So going from like having this be resting face and like I was projecting, go away, don't talk to me. Like leave me alone, let me do my thing and go. Um, I even know that that's the energy I was giving because I was like, to me, it was like, yeah, at least I did my thing. But I didn't know it was when you look at the posture, if you look at how I was, um, like maybe when I was at work and stuff like that, I wouldn't have that. But in public, like, don't, mm-mm. And then when I started acknowledging the space and kind of like started sending in this energetic love and connection, and the response back is like you, when you go in and then you say, "Hi, my name is," and with a smile, you're being given that back in most cases. Like it's, yeah, lifting up the atmosphere and the energy is just, yeah. And coming in with that intention for myself and positioning like, yeah, hi, I'm your interpreter for today, and I'm here to interpret for, and then I'll give like whatever it is, the name, how they would know who I am here for, and things like that. Like coming in that way, I'm no longer coming like a rush. Before it's like, oh yeah, I'm like, what? And they'll be like, what? And so there is no more shrinking. I don't need to rush. There's no performance. There's no in and out. Because back then, when after the whole thing is done, poof, I'm gone. You wouldn't even know I was in the room. You would not even like have an idea. Even to the sense like when I'm now around the people, right? And it's a case of like with sign language, you have to like be opposite, and sometimes it's a lot of educating, letting people know how things are, and then acknowledging the deaf person so that they can then say, okay, yeah, that's a good sitting for you and stuff like that. And it's a case of like, oh, is this okay here? Is this fine here? Is it like, yeah, When that shift happened for me, and I started, yes, I still had to acknowledge what's the best sitting because the lighting can affect and all those things. But the way I say it now, the way I approach that is not kind of like, oh, it's more kind of like, what's good? Like, it's a different way of like just asking and saying if this is fine for you, even if I'm using the same kind of words or whatever, it's how I am being in that position isn't kind of like, oh, I don't know if I'm, is this, no, it's a whole different ball game. And if there is silent, I sit with it before I needed to fill it up or like, oh, uh, this. Now I have ways in which I kind of like maneuver all those things. If there's a pause, I'm steady. Like all those things now has shifted, then the way I went in thinking, okay, this is how things are. This is what it should look like. This is how I am supposed to, or how the whole thing is supposed to be. But all different now. All different in how that gets to look like. Moving slower. I remember like when I used to go to events and stuff like that. You know when like you're going into a room, especially if it's like a big event and the entrance is further from where people are sitting and things like that, and then you're going to your seat or like whatever that is. I said, I like, you know what, just acknowledging, okay, just gone to the bathroom, coming back in now and walking. I remember one event I did, and I the trains were there was issues with the trains, whatever. I came in like late when everybody had set because I like to like come into events and grab the best seats where I can see and be like angled where I can see everyone and all those things. But anyway, I didn't make it on like in time. I know one of my friends already there, they saved me a seat. But the speaker was about to come in. And just before, like you know how people be like getting ready and all those things. And I just, rocked it. And a few people were before me because it was like a huge major train, whatever, thing. And luckily they actually held off a bit just because of what was happening. If people went in and they were like, you know how it is, the camera is on there, the speaker's about to come in, and then they're bending or like they're trying not to get the spotlight on them. And you could see a few people coming and going that way, and I just remember the old me. And I knew that was like, oh my friends are down that way. So if I go down this way, I have to like do like a massive. So I not like, okay, this is me now. But I walked in there. Obviously, everyone knew I wasn't the main thing, but I walked in to my seat. I did not shrink myself to my seat. I walked in. And then during one of the breaks, someone came up to me and was like, I thought you were the speaker. I was like, oh, thank you. And it wasn't as if I was trying to like um take anything. It was just, this is who I am now. I'm not taking away from what's happening, but I'm just doing my bit. I'm not shrinking. Okay, there are some situations where maybe if they're doing a recording and then you're walking past, okay, that's rude. You bet, like, that's different. But this is, you're going into a space that it's not, oh, like, you why am I shrinking? Because all eyes are on facing that way because they knew what was coming. The speaker's about to come in, and then they're looking down that way, and then I'm like shrinking myself. I'm, I'm just going where I'm supposed to go. So in that situation, it wasn't like, oh, I'm now, no, but I just did what I had to do to get to my seat. I wasn't even thinking about, oh, I just, oh yeah, that's what, oh yeah, oh, like you know how to wave to like this way. I went beeline for it. And then when that comment happened afterwards, I was like, oh yeah. And then I celebrate, like can't say thank you and everything. But I just told me like, oh my gosh, like I didn't even. It's just like a default mode network for me now. Like oh, and then the old me would have like found a way to even wait for this to happen. Because when I went there, the speaker was like, oh, you guys go in, go in, go in. So it wasn't as if like, yeah, you're about to go in, I'm fine. But it was like old me would have like, oh no, it's fine, I'll wait for you. Like, go, yeah, it's fine. So that attention will be on me. That would just be a passing thing. And yeah, it's being present honestly lands before we speak, before we do the work, before we do anything. It's like when you're like, this is how I am showing up here, and this is what I'm doing. Then okay, yeah, you're here to do the thing, and then it's like, oh, and then it's like that. And I know it's follow through. So the calm confidence comes in motion, comes with that the decision that okay, this is how things are gonna be. And this is what the momentum, the reps, the conditioning, the way we're thinking, the meaning was given, and all those things was now the thing that was like, oh, it's not this dramatical thing now. Yes, now I walk in and I'm this confident and I go ask my whatever. And it's about the regulation. It's about how I am feeling safe in the being than feeling like the old false safe in like, am I, it's everything. Does it look? What do they think? What's this person say? Like that was no longer my story, was no longer the thing that I wanted to be how I showed up. Because it is knowing you belong without proving that you do. And I find that a lot of people are leaning towards that proving bit. Oh yeah, yeah, I'm supposed to be here like this, than actually knowing that this is the situation. Because having that like, and this is the key thing, when we are aware, when we know, it's like, when you know know something, you do better, right? If you don't know that this is what's going on, then how are you going to change it? How would that be a thing? When I had that realization that, oh, I was actually shrinking myself. This was actually exhausting because of how I saw myself and the meaning that I was giving to it, the stories that I was saying, and the belief I had about what that meant for me, that I have to be always be on my A game. Nobody needs to find out, because if they find out, then I am out and then I'll be cancelled. And then this is going to happen and that. And because of that, how I was being was now in this element of, oh, okay, at least if they don't know we're here, we are safe, right? That was what I was leaning into. And the way we enter a room can say a lot about our identity than the words would ever say. How we step into spaces. It is so important to really take the minute to acknowledge, okay, well, how am I showing up? How am I being perceived? What is the thing that is happening here? And what am I making it mean about me? And what am I making it mean about other people and the situation? And then what do I get to do? Because the only person we truly have power and control to change is us. And we can influence other people, but we can't change them, per se, except we're being a detective or we're in certain situation. But knowing that it is us and how we respond and react to what's being displayed and offered is having that okay, this is what I get to be. Because if our present is off or whatever, you know, even though in those situations, in those occasions, even just doing some power move, going to the bathroom and yeah, whatever, just to build and anchor in myself the muscle. Because when I tell people, yeah, I used to be this shy person, in some certain situations, there's still the shyness will come in or whatever, but they're like, really? You shy? It's been that shift, that decision, that work that has been intentional, that has been in, okay, this is how we roll. This is what it gets to look like for us. This is how we are moving forward in the things that we get to do. And it can be the same for you too. It could be once we decide, you decided, and start carrying oneself before you even ever utter a word. As we're doing this, and we're evolving in real time, as we're evolving with our lives, with the things, the responsibilities, with the way things are, we're not reinventing, clean slate, let's go somewhere and start again. We're doing life. But as we're doing the life, we're evolving in real time. We're doing that. And sometimes shift is simply how you walk into a space. How you do that. I am Nene. We do this every single day. Bye for now. I'll see you tomorrow.